I don't really have a lot of time.
Yeah, that's no problem. So what I'll do is I'll give you short assignments that we can do here and there on the things that you want to need to work on for the next time. All right. So this is the TOEFL. So we understand that the TOEFL is a comprehensive English language examination. So it helps immensely on colleges and universities in the United States, Canada, and other parts of the world that makes admission decisions, especially if they're giving curriculum in English. So it is used by some organizations to certify professionals to practice their vocations both in the United States and abroad. So depending on what you wanted to use the TOEFL for, just know that it is basically a certification to kind of prove that you know English. Now with the IBT, we understand now that with technology and where we are in the world, TOEFL has decided to make things a lot of it internet based. So before many years ago, we understood that it was very paper-based. Now we have to be using it on the internet. Now, the reason why this is important to know is because with the internet, there are certain skills and things to keep in mind that you would have to apply when taking the internet-based TOEFL. All right. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So, section one is reading. So let me quickly go over how the test is going to look like. So as I mentioned, there's going to be different sections. So in the first section of reading, you're going to be getting two reading passage, each by 10 questions. And then you're going to have 35 minutes to read all the passages and respond to the questions. So it is timed. Now, it is very important to see that there's going to be some words and sentences highlighted. So if you may see an explanation or a definition by the word or phrase by clicking on it. So sometimes they do give you some definitions on that. So it's always good to see if you see anything underlined or highlighted. It's great because it's giving you a little hint of how to understand the passage. Now, the majority of the questions are multiple choice, all right? So with the reading comprehension. And then of course, with every question that you make, you're going to be clicking next. All right. And then of course, you do have the option to go back and double check your answers. All right. Now, remember, it is timed. So what you have not finished by that 35 minutes, you will be missing out. So it's important to answer every single question, even if you're not sure on it. Now, what we understand is that there's going to be a clock always available for you to kind of keep an eye on. So not to worry. All right, listening. We understand that section two, there and all the huge idea of TOEFL is understanding and making sure that your capabilities of listening is on standard. We understand that listening is those that are typical of social and academic conversations. So any conversations that you would be dealing with universities or lectures, it's important for you to have that capability of understanding to a certain level. Now, with the listening passages, there's two, and then each of them is 14 questions. So one will be a lecture and one will be a conversation. So each conversation and lecture requires you to respond again, 14 questions. There's going to be a clock there that will time you for around 36 minutes. Now the good thing is that when you're answering the questions, that's part of the 36 minutes. Now, when you're listening to the lecture and conversation, that is not timed. So that's the plus that you'll be able to have with that. Now, it is important when you're doing these listening activities, Kevin, to take notes. And we're going to be doing a listening activity. So it's always good to take notes on key pieces of information that will help you answer the multiple choice questions. All right. And then speaking, of course, there's going to be a speaking performance where the task requires you to respond to a single question, a talk, conversation, or lecture. Now, with when you listen to a lecture and conversation or read a short passage, you will then respond to a question related to it. Now, of course, you're always recommended to take notes. So you can figure out how to respond to the questions. Now, the proficiency is evaluated in general fluency and accuracy. Now, the speaking section is very short. It shouldn't be more than 16 minutes. And before responding to each questions, you'll get a good 15 to 20 seconds. So you can really process what you're being asked. All right. And then the last section we have is writing. So with the ability to perform writing tasks are typically required in college courses. Now you will in the TOEFL, you're going to be receiving two writing prompts. There are two types of writing tasks, right? An integrated essay task and an academic discussion writing task. So the integrated essay is the combination of language skills, reading, listening, and writing. So you will read a short passage, hear a short lecture on the topic, and then write an essay in response to a specific set of directions for the essay. And then with the academic discussion writing task, they're going to ask you to state and support an opinion on a given topic in an online class discussion. And this one is very important because not only is learning those skills be good for the TOEFL, it's good beyond the TOEFL. Knowing how to write an academic discussion is key and vital for any type of writing in your academics. And of course, it will be timed. Any questions? Uh, sorry, Kevin, your mic seems not to be working. Can you try speaking into it one more time? No, sorry, Kevin, I'm not able to hear you right now. No, nothing so far with your mic, Kevin. Did you, by any chance, change anything when you were fixing your mic? Because you were speaking clearly before, but now I can't hear you. No? Sure. Hi, Kevin. Can you speak into the mic? Mm, yeah, if you're speaking to the mic right now, I still am not able to hear anything, but you know what? That's okay. Let's continue. I don't think you'll need a mic majority of the time. So, if you have any questions or anything that you would want me to clarify, please type it into the chat. All right. So, now this is a reading passage called The Honeybee Colony. So here I would ask you to read this out loud and then answer some multiple choice. But because the mic is not working, what I would want you to do is just have you work on this on your own time. Now, there are five multiple choice, and this I will read out loud and go over together. Whenever, and this is a recommendation I have whenever you are taking any type of test, is especially anything to do with a reading passage, read the multiple choice first. So the first multiple choice is saying, what is the main purpose of the passage? Number two, according to the passage, what is one function of the queen bee? Three, how do honeybees communicate the location of food sources? Number four, what is one reason for the decline in honeybee populations? And five, why is the survival of honeybees important according to the passage? All right. So, what you would be doing is, of course, reading the passage, going it over, and answering each multiple choice. Now, here, I'll give you 10 minutes to do so. If you need a little bit more time, let me know. But we'll start with 10 minutes and see what you can get done in that time. All right. And then please, if you do submit your answers early, of course, we'll move on. But don't feel rushed. You have 10 minutes. All right. So you may get started if there are no further questions. How's it going so far, Kevin? Any questions? Do you need any definition or clarification on any terms that you see here in the reading passage or even in the questions? Pheromones? Yeah. So pheromones, that is a pretty much a type of hormone that is present in a lot of insects. So it's basically a chemical trigger, right, that species produce. It either attracts them, it either repels them, but it's basically this chemical substance that insects have. And now it can be found, in sweat of a or anything, but it's basically this chemical liquid that insects have. Mhm. All right. So Kevin, I see here that you submitted your work. Awesome. Thank you again. Now, how did we find the passage? On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult did you find it? Like 1, 7? Okay, so pretty difficult. That's great. I want to make sure that I'm always challenging you and making sure that you're um that it that you find a little bit of difficulty in it, of course. All right. So I'll keep around the same difficulty level in terms of the passage, okay? So let's go over the answers. So for number one, it is B. So not A, it's B. So what is the main purpose of the passage? You said to describe the roles within a honeybee colony. It's actually to explain the significance of honeybees to the environment and agriculture. So it's a very it's that so focus on the ecological role and challenges. Basically, how do bees and why are they important to the environment? Two is C. Great job, you got that correct. Three is B. Awesome, you also got that correct. Four, you said was C, which is you got correct as well. And then five, you got B is correct. Awesome. So it was just number one, which is okay. That's still a great job, 4 to 5. So let's move on. Do you have any questions regarding this task? All right. So within the TOEFL, there is select um vocabulary that is typically expected for you to kind of memorize, but also not only memorize, but understand when to use them. So I'm going to go over each one and explain the definition and the synonym. So all very important. So first word is agile. Agile. It is an adjective, right? Which means that and the definition is able to move in a quick and easy way. And the synonym, which is SYN, you see that? SYN, that's synonym for, and then are you familiar with what its synonyms are, Kevin? Do you know the definition of a synonym? Yep. Awesome. So then, yes, nimble would be a synonym of agile. So deer are very agile animals. She moved agilely across the stage. So albeit, which is a conjunction, which defines as in spite of the facts, regardless of the fact. And a synonym of albeit is although. So his trip was successful, albeit tiring, albeit difficult at times. Speaking another language is rewarding. Appealing, which is an adjective, which means attractive or interesting. Alluring is a synonym of appealing. So working abroad is appealing to many people through his speeches. The candidate appealed to the voters. So celebrated is an adjective, which means acclaimed, well-known, and popular. So, and remember, adjective is very important because celebrated could also be a verb, right? But when we define it as an adjective, it means acclaimed, well-known, and popular. Now, renowned is a synonym of celebrated. So, the celebrated pianist will be giving a concert this weekend. San Francisco is celebrated for its multicultural makeup. Circumvent, which is a verb, to go around or avoid. Evade is a synonym of circumvent. The hacker attempted to circumvent the computer's security system. Circumvention of the freshman math requirement is possible. Then we have contemporary, which is an adjective. Modern, up to date. A person living at the same time as another person. And then a current is a synonym of contemporary. Contemporary architecture makes very good use of space. Cervantes was a contemporary of Shakespeare. Distribute, which is a verb to divide among people or to give out. Synonym of distribute is dispense. Many publishers now distribute their papers via the internet. The distribution of seeds is very quick with this new machine. Encourage, which is a verb, which means to promote, help, or support. Stimulate is a synonym of encourage. The government cut taxes in order to encourage spending. The professor gave each student the encouragement that was needed to learn the material. Energetic, which is an adjective which means full of life, action, or power. Vigorous is a synonym of energetic. Sam hasn't been as energetic as he usually is. There's a lot of energy in these batteries. Do you have any questions regarding the vocabulary that you see here, Kevin?
Can you hear my mic now?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can hear you perfectly now.
Oh yes, I because I changed the earphone.
Oh, I see. Okay, well,
So
any
yeah, no questions.
okay, great. And then so, Kevin, we are gonna answer some multiple choice here. So, let me give you a couple of minutes. Just memorize or just read what words you are not familiar with. And then when you feel that you're ready, just tell me saying I'm ready, and then we're gonna answer some multiple choice, okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
take this time now just to read over this vocab. All right. So here are some multiple choice. So now these multiple choice is basically a passage or yeah, just a small passage that uses the vocabulary that we have just learned. Each multiple choice is going to ask you to select a word with the closest meaning. All right. So just to get you practice with speaking and pronunciation and accuracy, I'll have you just read over these passages and then immediately tell me your answer for each multiple choice. So for number one, can you please read the passage and then say what the answer would be?
Okay. Over the years, investigators have evaluated the local folklore of areas where sightings of the celebrated abon abominable abomin abominable snowman have been reported. The same scientists have collected physical evidence, such as footprints, body parts, and photographs, but this evidence remains unconvincing. In 1960, the renowned mountaineer Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand conducted an investigation of the reports of the creature, but found no evidence of its existence.
Great. All right. So the word celebrated in the passage is closest in meaning to which word?
Renowned.
Renowned. Amazing.
Yes.
Number two, can you please read the passage and then the answer?
Exercises that demands total body involvement improve and maintain fitness. The most effective way to feel more mentally alert and energetic is to engage in aerobic activity at least 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Such activities may include jogging, running, swimming, dancing, and fast walking. And energetic in the passage is close in meaning to vigorous.
Uh, did you say vigorous?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, that is correct. All right, number three. Oh, sorry,
Um,
there's no number
a,
three.
co-
For number four, I meant, sorry.
a contemporary issue among psychologists is the activational cause of emotion, its structural components, and its function and consequences. Each of these aspects can be considered from a biosocial view. Generally, biosocial theory focuses on neuropsychological aspects of emotions and their roles as organizer of cognition and motivators of action. And the word contemporary in the passage is closest in the meaning of to current. What like, is it current or
Oh,
contemptuous?
oh, sorry. Yes, current. You're correct. Sorry, I was on mute. Yes,
Oh,
and then number five, please.
can I ask like what's the meaning of contemptuous?
Yeah, so when we have when you take a look at all the rest of the words, we have current, acclaimed, contemptuous, and favored. So they're all what would you describe them as? Adjectives, adverbs,
Oh, adjectives
adjective.
or yeah.
So yes, so contemptuous would be considered as an adjective. Now, in this case, we have the word contempt. Are you familiar with that word, contempt?
No.
No. So contempt means kind of like scornful, angry, um, just someone um who feels insulted or insulting. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So when we have contemptuous, that's being used as an adjective with that similar meaning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, number five,
The early artists of the Hudson River School were
Thomas Doughty. Sorry, Kevin, are you reading right now? If so, I can't hear you. Hello? Think we've lost the mic again, I believe, Kevin. Sorry, no, still nothing, Kevin. Um, it's okay. Just so we're not losing time, just tell me what you think number five would be. A, B, C, or D. That is correct. Yes, alluring. Any questions, Kevin? Oh, yeah, that's okay. That happens. Yeah. With technical issues, they're out of everybody's hand. So that is no problem. So we're gonna do a little writing task. What I want you to do is use the following vocabulary and synonyms that we have just learned and write a fictional story. So pretty much we have celebrated and renowned. We have energetic and vigorous. We have contemporary and current. And then we have appealing and alluring. So use those eight words technically, and use it in a fictional story. Any questions about this writing task? All right. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to complete this, and then we will edit it together. All right. And when you're finished, please submit it into the chat. Yeah, absolutely. I can show you the vocabulary. I'll just leave it here. All right, Kevin? And then, but just remember you're writing a fictional story. So you have 3 more minutes. So try to do as much as you can in the 3 minutes remaining. All right, Kevin. So time is up. Please submit what you have. It's okay if you're not completely finished, but I do want to get you kind of used to this idea of like making sure we're on a time constraint, just so you're getting a little introduction of like how the TOEFL is, because they're very strict with timing. And typically what you would see right now is a clock, right? And if once that clock hits zero, it's time for the next section. So if you don't mind, just please submitting what you have so then we can edit and the paragraph or the story that you have done. All right. So I am going to stop sharing. This is just me opening up a document. It's just easier to edit on there, and then of course you are going to be getting these edits along with the slide. So now let me just get this opened, and then here we are. Let's take a look. So 20 years after 2024, the invention of artificial intelligence intelligence um became Renowned. Inventors are celebrated for bringing efficiencies and convenience. This doesn't need to be plural. You can just say efficiency. Inventors are celebrated for bringing efficiency, convenience, and in people's daily life. Um, life. However, along with the rapid growth of technologies, contemporary products using AI for entertainment became more alluring. The appealing imaginary scene and authentic elements in the game. Um, are you want to say in uh in a game or in games? Are you talking about multiple games, Kevin, or are you just gonna be talking about one? Multiple. Okay, so then the appealing imaginary scenery and authentic elements in games. We don't need the because it's a general statement. You're not referring to one specific game or games. You're referring to just a general statement. So we would take out that. Lead people into a more energetic situation. So just careful with spelling. All right. Awesome. So great job, Kevin. You used the vocabulary correctly. Now, in terms of the way some words are formatted, for example, artificial intelligence wouldn't is not the word. It would be artificial intelligence. And then you use become, it would be became. Okay. And then instead of live, it would be life. Or well, technically you put live. But and so it would be life instead. Any questions, Kevin, regarding the feedback I just gave you right now? All right. So let's move on. So now that we have done some vocabulary, let's understand some vocabulary, some grammar. So, because with grammar, very important, this is how we get accuracy and clear and concise sentences, whether we're speaking it or writing it. Grammar is important, of course. So, in order to make sure we are accomplishing that, I have some practice for you to do just to make sure that we are using the correct answer for each sentence. So please do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I have more in the next slide, and then we're gonna take it up all together. So here I'll give you around 5 minutes, all right, to answer each one, and then we'll move on to the next slide. If you have any questions, Kevin, please let me know in the chat. You may get started. right, let's move on to the next set. So please take the time to answer questions 1 through 6. And then here I'm gonna give you 7 minutes, all right, to complete the rest. All right, let's take it up. So number 1 is B, had closed. 2 is B, allows. 3 is A, 4 is D. So great job there. C is 6 and 7 are both A. So have I seen and lying. So for number 6, have I seen, inverted structure for rarely uses the auxiliary verb before the subject. And then 7 is A again, lying, which is the present participle, which correctly describes the book's position. And then you're correct for 8, 9, and 10, A, B, A. Awesome. Any questions? All right, so let's move on to some writing. Now we're gonna do a listening task. We're gonna be doing a listening task and answering some multiple choice. So just give me 1 second and I'll have that pulled up. Sorry, just bear with me. It's just loading. All right, so here is a full listening test that is very good. This kind of structure is very similar to the one you would be seeing in the TOEFL. So here, what you're going to do is just listen um, to conversations here, and you're going to be answering some questions. All right. The multiple choice is on screen. So just choose either A, B, C, or D for every single question, and then we will be taking it up all together. Now, because this is a full listening practice, it is going to take a little longer, but we won't do, but this is just to see where you're at, and then we'll have shorter listening tests in the future if you do well. If not, we can keep it at the same length. All right. So any questions, Kevin, before we get started? Okay. So I'm going to press play and then please just listen to the instructions.
Now we will begin the test of English as a foreign language. Break the seal and open your test book to the first page. Part A, Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between two people. After each conversation,
Also, you can hear the audio, correct, Kevin? Okay, perfect.
you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here's an example. On the recording, you hear,
I don't like this painting very much.
Neither do I. What does the man mean? In your test book, you read, A. He doesn't like the painting either. B. He doesn't know how to paint. C. He doesn't have any paintings. D. He doesn't know what to do. You learn from the conversation that neither the man nor the woman likes the painting. The best answer to the question, what does the man mean, is A. He doesn't like the painting either. Therefore, the correct choice is A. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
I'm taking 6 courses this semester.
Maybe you should cut down next term.
What does the woman suggest the man do?
Here is where you
I
would
took two things
here is where you would select A, B, C, or D.
that I love,
But sorry,
dancing
ignore
and
this
dogs,
ad
and I made
here.
them into a successful business.
Number 2.
Joyce, did you borrow my ruler?
No, Bill did.
What happened to the ruler?
So here again, to A, B, C, or D.
Number 3.
I think it'll be hard for me to write that paper because I'm so tired.
Why don't you do it later on in the day, after you've rested?
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 4.
I'm looking for a nice, quiet place to spend 2 weeks. Can you help me?
We have several brochures here that you can take home to look at.
What does the woman mean? Number 5.
The weather's been so hot and humid this week.
Hasn't it, though?
What does the man mean? Number 6.
I thought we might try that new pizza place tonight.
Wouldn't you prefer somewhere a little more elegant?
What does the woman imply? Number 7.
I was thinking about going to the opening performance of the new play Friday night.
You'd better do more than think about it if you're serious. There might not be any tickets left by then.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 8.
Did you know it's almost 5?
5? It can't be.
What does the man mean? Number 9.
The cafeteria is serving cheese sandwiches for lunch today.
I'm glad we made plans to go somewhere else.
What does the man imply? Number 10.
Your new table is gorgeous. It must have been expensive.
A little, I guess.
What does the man say about the table? Number 11.
The graduation luncheon has been set for the last Thursday of the semester.
Oh, really? I'll have to change it on my calendar.
What had the man assumed about the graduation luncheon? Number 12.
I need this prescription filled as soon as possible.
Do you want that in tablet or liquid?
What does the woman ask? Number 13.
How could I be so absent-minded? I left my wallet at home again.
It just so happens I have $20 I don't need until tonight.
What does the woman mean? Number 14.
I wish you'd try harder to be on time.
There's no need for you to talk to me like that.
What can be inferred about the man? Number 15.
What's going on at the theater? There's not usually a crowd like that on weeknights, especially for a foreign film.
There's a special promotion going on. 2 people get in for the price of 1.
What does the man mean? Number 16.
Hi, Barbara. How are things? Have you gotten used to campus life yet?
I guess I have, but you are the first person I've run into all day who knows my name.
What can be inferred from the conversation? Number 17.
I'm really sorry I had to cancel our plans again. I hope you're not too upset.
At first I was angry, but actually you did me a favor. I took care of a lot of work that had been backing up.
What does the man imply? Number 18.
Do you know if it's supposed to be warm enough on Wednesday to have our party outside, in the backyard?
I heard it'll be warm, but that it's likely to rain most of the day.
What will probably happen to the party? Number 19.
I'm sorry, Paul, but I can't go with you to the basketball game. I really have to study for a math test.
You know all that stuff. You'll pass with flying colors.
What does the man imply the woman should do? Number 20.
I like the color and style of this suit, but the pants should be shortened a bit.
We can have it done here for you at no extra charge.
What does the woman suggest the man do?
Sorry, excuse this.
Okay, so we're at the film festival, middle of Park City. The doors open.
All right, we'll continue now. Just going to reshare the screen.
Go on to the next page. Number 21.
I can't believe you got a job in a candy factory. What a great way to spend the summer.
To be honest, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I'm going to spend the next few months just sorting candies by color and size.
What will the woman be doing at her job? Number 22.
Can I borrow some cough drops from you? I don't feel up to going to the drugstore.
You've been under the weather all week. You ought to go to the health center just to be sure it's not serious.
What does the woman mean? Number 23.
Those kitchen cabinets look great. Did you put them in yourself?
I took the easy way out and got a carpenter to do it.
What does the man mean? Number 24.
By now, your sister must have decided where she wants to go to college.
She's been too busy with soccer to even open a catalog.
What does the man say about his sister? Number 25.
I've asked Jane if we could get a ride with her to the craft fair.
So you can go after all.
What had the woman assumed about the man? Number 26.
Oh, by the way, your brother called again while you were out.
This is ridiculous. We've been missing each other for days.
What does the woman mean? Number 27.
What I wouldn't give for a hot cup of coffee right now.
Would you settle for some lukewarm cocoa left over from lunch? I have enough for two.
What does the man offer to do?
So this will be our last question. So please submit your answers after you submitted question 27. So we're going to stop here. I'm going to stop sharing. Please submit your answers, and then I'm going to share the answer key. Okay. Share the answer key.
Section 1. Listening comprehension.
Sorry.
This section of the test. Section.
All right, just give me 1 second. It's just loading. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now, and then we'll go over each question. So, number 1, C. Number 2, B. Number 3, A. Number 4, D. A, C, B is 5, 6, 7. 8 is C. 9 is C. 10 is B. 11 is D. 12 is C. 13 is B. 14 is B. 15 is C. 16 is D. 17 is A. 18 is A. 19 is D. 20 is C. 21 is A. 22 is D. 23 is B. 24 is C. 25 is B. 26 is C. And 27 is C. Is there any specific question here that you would want to go back and double check on, or do you think you're okay? What do you think, Kevin? Number 10? Sure.
Little, I guess.
Number 10.
Your new table is gorgeous. It must have been expensive.
A little, I guess.
What does the man say about the table?
So, what do you think? A, B, C, or D for number 10? B. So if we go back, that is correct. B. All right. Any further questions, Kevin? 26. Absolutely.
Go after all.
Number 25.
After all.
Called again.
Number 26.
Oh, by the way, your brother called again while you were out.
This is ridiculous. We've been missing each other for days.
What does the woman mean?
So what does she mean, Kevin? Is it A, B, C, or D? Would you like to listen to it again? So you said A. She and her brother misses each other a lot. So if we go back. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry. Give me 1 second.
Everyone's gotten
Sorry, Kevin. Just give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up the answer key. 26. You said A. You're not sure. So, okay. So 26 is C. So let's go back to 26 is C. So let's go back to what 26 says. Screen. So here.
Number. What does
Wouldn't give for a hot cup of coffee.
25.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, by the way.
Number 26.
Oh, by the way, your brother called again while you were out.
This is ridiculous. We've been missing each other for days.
What does
All right. So here, the guy saying, "Oh, your brother has called," and she said, "This is ridiculous. We have been missing each other for days." So 26A would make sense, but there is further context, right? It wouldn't be B, right? Because she doesn't receive the calls, it's someone else. It wouldn't be D because she wants to hear from her brother, so it's not the wrong day. So our choices are either A or C. C makes a little bit more sense because she says, "This is ridiculous. We have been missing each other for days." She and her brother have been unable to contact each other. Meaning whenever her brother calls, for example, she might not be able to answer. Does that make sense, Kevin? All right. Any other questions? Do you want to go over? No questions? All right. So, we do only have 8 minutes left. So let me take this time to introduce to something I want you to do, not necessarily for homework, but well, let's just say this is something that you should explore more often outside of the sessions. So I'm going to introduce this link and I'm going to send it into the chat actually as well. So here we are. I put Please let me know if you have if you're able to access this link. You can say yes or no. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now to that website. This website is called Manchester Phrasebook. So Kevin, in the writing practices or the writing tasks in the TOEFL asks you to write academic discussions. Academic discussions, as I mentioned before, is very, very important, not only, not only for the TOEFL, but also for your own academic studies. You want, if you're going to write in English, let's say an essay, a research article, a thesis, a dissertation, whatever it may be, any type of academic writing needs specific structure. And that structure is called formal structure. Now, with formal structure, we avoid many things. A big one is first avoiding using first person and avoid using any type of language that indicates bias or indicates any type of opinion. So whenever we want to figure out how do we start even a sentence like this is the website you should refer to. So for example, let's go to introducing work. Let's say you're writing a research article and you want to introduce your work. You can establish the context, background, or importance of a topic. You can give a brief review of relevant academic literature, identify a problem, state the aims of your research, define key terms. So all these things will help you how to start the sentence. So for example, if we want to, let's say, establish the importance of the topic for the world or society. This is all the different ways on how we can start that sentence. So we can say there is evidence that blank plays a pivotal role in regulating, and then you would continue your sentence. So let's say artificial intelligence, since that was a topic that we mentioned. We can say evidence suggests that artificial intelligence is among the most important factors for, and then we would continue our essay. Or if you wanted to give reasons of why or describe the limitations of the current studies, you can say the thesis does not engage with blah, 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 blah. You can state the purpose of the current research. So you can say this perspective study was designed to investigate the use of blah, 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 blah. So these are all different ways on how to start a sentence. Any questions so far, Kevin? Nope. Awesome. So this is another tab called referring to sources. In academic writing, a big part of it is introducing sources, right? Introducing articles, information, statistics that would support your points. Now, how do we do this? There's many different ways of how we can refer to sources. So let's say if we're talking about a historical perspective, these are all the different ways we can start that sentence. So for example, in recent years, there has been an increasing amount of literature on artificial intelligence, let's say. Or we can say, and then if we want to refer to another writer's idea or position, we could say, as noted by Smith, 2003, so we could say artificial intelligence is far more cost effective and therefore blah, 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 blah. So these are, again, all ways of how to start a sentence. Now, let's say if we want to compare two different articles, two different ideas together that support each other. So you can say that Smith sees artificial intelligence as important. And then you would put similarly, Jones, 2016, makes the case for blah, 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 blah. So these are all, again, all different ways on how to refer to your sources. Then we have describing methods. Methodology meaning what kind of research do they do? How do they find information that would help with their source? Now, of course, this is not something that you would have to stress yourself too much on because you don't do actual hands-on research or data gathering. So this is something that you don't have to worry yourself too much with, but again, something that would be very interesting to understand, because for example, if you want to talk about how someone else or what someone else did, you would use this tab. Same thing, reporting results, right? Very important here, just stating the negative, well, positive result, stating a negative result. All these tabs are here for you to figure out how to start your sentences. And then, of course, discussing findings is very important here as well. And then, of course, your conclusion. So for our next session, what we're going to be doing is focusing on academic writing. That will be definitely a priority in our sessions. The readings will remain the same difficulty. And in terms of the listening, we'll also keep it in the same difficulty as well. So let's stop here. Do you have any questions regarding academic phrasebook at all, Kevin? Or anything about this link that you would want to clarify on or ask about? No questions? Awesome. So Kevin, can you please tell me how did you enjoy? Today was a very balanced session. I introduced everything that that the TOEFL will be asking you to do. Is there something specifically you would want me to incorporate more of in our future sessions, just to make sure that you're getting the best out of each session and really working on the things that you would want to work on? Is there anything more that I can make sure to add for our next sessions? The skills of writing, absolutely. Okay, and then so structures. Yeah, that is no problem at all. So for homework, Kevin, look through that website. That website is a huge and great tool to use on how to practice some of those structures and how to begin sentences like that, especially in academic writing. Now, in terms of the skills of writing and the structuring, we can definitely go in deeper and look at maybe some key methods and skills to make sure that you're using the best form for each sentence. But I'll definitely include that more. Is there anything less that you want to see less of, or something that you think that shouldn't be as maybe let's say, like, was the listening too long, or did the reading needed to be longer? Is there anything else that you would want to focus on or have more or less of? Okay, great. So then, yeah, we'll keep everything as is. I'll just make sure to incorporate more skills of writing. But for now, Kevin, with whatever time you have, always be looking through Manchester Phrasebook. It's a great tool that a lot of university professors use even to this day. So it's a great tool to have, especially when you're writing academic writing. Okay, so